What is going on, everybody? So today I wanted to share a very special aquarium that we've been servicing now for about 2 years. It is just absolutely massive growth in this aquarium. It's softy dominated. It's just crazy how much growth there is in this tank. The amount of growth in this tank, being that it's only been up for about 5 or 6 years, is just absolutely like breathtaking. Very simple setup. I'm gonna take you guys to that in a second, but first I wanted to share this really cute little Seahorse tank that I service. And we just recently put some new additions in it, and I just wanted you guys to check it out and let me know in the comments what you think. All right, check it out.
All right, guys, here we are at the Seahorse tank, and I have to be honest, I'm really proud of the way this tank has been coming along. We've only been servicing it for around 2 months, which is like 4 visits. When we first got the tank, it had the wrong fish in here. The fish did not play well with the seahorses. The inverts didn't play well with the seahorses, so we had to take all that out, and now we're finally getting to make this tank more comfortable for the seahorses. I've added recently some corals and some sponges to this tank to give it a little bit more life, a little bit more color, as well as help filter the tank. So when you have things like pulsing xenia, not only do they look aesthetically pleasing, but they also serve a purpose by filtering the tank. Same thing with that sponge. Got 2 big bright orange colonies of sponge in this tank, which I think just adds so much color. The macroalgae, which gives it a really natural look. Some star polyp, all things that play well with seahorses, things that won't bother the seahorses. And not only that, things that the seahorses can kind of latch onto and can kind of, it benefits them. I still have some ideas of what to add in here, but we're kind of just chilling for now because the customer has notified us that a little aptasia there I see, but that's fine. We've been getting rid of the aptasia slowly. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about that. The customer wants to go ahead and upgrade this tank. The seahorses need a lot more room eventually, and she wants to have a better looking tank than the one she has here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Some dragon's breath macroalgae, adds more color. But yeah, this is a pretty straightforward aquarium. It's just a hang on the back filter. This is supposed to be a freshwater tank. I don't know why whoever set this up as a seahorse tank. I mean, it can work, but these guys need a little bit better setup. So we're going to upgrade our tank here in a little bit, and I cannot wait to do that because these seahorses definitely deserve it. But yeah, again, the water chemistry is testing perfectly. Corals look great. The whole tank looks great. It's powered by AI Prime, hang on the back filter, an automatic top off, real simple setup. They do a great job of taking care of their seahorses, feeding them as much as they need to be fed. We come in here once every 2 weeks. We're here, do slight water change, check on everything, make sure everybody's good. But again, I cannot wait to upgrade this tank because we're going to really be able to do some cool things and add more life to the tank as well. And these seahorses are rock stars. They're the superstars of this tank, and I want to add some more stuff to it to complement them. But I mean, seahorses just by themselves are just so cool. Let me know what you guys would add to this tank with the seahorses. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think would work well with these seahorses, what you'd like to see in this tank. I honestly cannot wait for the upgrade. It's going to be really fun, and I will definitely videotape. All right, so before I get to the tank that I was doing the video on, I just had to share this because this was my next job. And I just had to share this aquarium with you guys real quick. I'm going to be doing a video on anemones here pretty soon. But this is a prime example of a tank that's anemone dominated, but has just some other soft corals and some LPS too that are doing great. But just look at this aquarium. Look at the coralline algae growth. You can just tell by looking at the glass and on the walls here. It's just such a healthy aquarium. The anemones are like, every time I come here, I have to take like 3 or 4 anemones out of here. I know a lot of people get afraid to put anemones in their tank, especially the rose bubble tip anemones, and for good reason. Because they, can kill your other coral because of their potent sting and because how fast they replicate. But this is a good example. I mean, we have rock flowers here on the bottom. They stay in their area. The anemones are up top. We have a couple of LPS on the bottom, some blastos, and we have some mushroom corals over here in the corner. And yeah, we have recordias, and we have that big old Frankenstein mushroom. Oh my God, that thing is ridiculous. When it first got in this tank, this thing was like the size of a pinhead. That thing is like so big now. But we got discosoma mushrooms in here. We also have a little carpet anemone in here as well. So 3 different types of anemones in this tank. So I don't want everybody to get too down. I know anemones can be a pain in the butt, but I'm going to be doing a video on how to take care of them and basically to kind of just not scare people off from them, because they are really pretty and they can be beneficial if you kind of plan around them and you know what to expect. I think a lot of people don't know, especially with the rose bubble tips, how fast they can spread. But that's a video that's gonna be coming down the pipeline, so I'll get that ready, for you guys in the future. All right, on to the reason why I'm making this video in the first place. This beautiful aquarium. Now, this is in an actual doctor's office, and it's right in the middle of the lobby, and it's been going up for a long time. I'm not even quite sure how long this tank's been up. I believe it's like 5 to 7 years, let's say around there. But look at the growth on this tank. Look at the amount of star polyp here. And then we have different types of leather corals growing. We took over this tank, I would say, about 2 years ago, and we've just been focusing on water chemistry. We added that little rose bubble tip anemone that actually came from the tank you saw previously, because those anemones were going like crazy. But we have Kenya tree in here. We have like Singulara coral. We have rock flower anemones are in here. I think we have 3 different types of anemones. You'll see in a second the other one. A bunch of leather corals. Look at this. Look at the amount of it's like a forest of leather coral right here, a mix of different types of leathers. Now, they're not the brightest corals. These corals, we did not put them in. They came they came already in the tank when we took over service. We've added certain things like the rose bubble tip anemone. I would like to add more to the tank, but this tank was basically just those leather corals and star polyp, and we've been wanting to add more stuff, and so far we've only added like some rock flower anemones. But I definitely want to clear out some room. But as you can see, this tank is just so densely packed with just an insane amount of leather coral, and it definitely could use a good let's say haircut or a trim because this is just way too much. It's even pressed up against the glass, and it's just completely dominated. So this is in desperate need of a fragging, desperate need of getting these corals out of here, because we're not gonna be able to get anything else in here, because you can see that's pressed up against the glass there. We're not gonna be able to get anything else in here that's gonna add a little bit more color and variety to the tank if we don't get those out of there. And look at this beautiful carpet anemone. This thing is ridiculous. Look at the blue on that. I love how the clownfish made that its home, but I'm in love with that carpet anemone. And those things, yes, they will eat fish if they get a hold of fish, but I just think they're so beautiful, especially that one. They keep the whites on in this tank a lot, and that blue stands out. Another bubble tip anemone on the other side that we got from the previous tank you guys saw. It's growing like crazy. It's already 3. The colors aren't as nice like they were in the other tank, because again, like I said, they run more white lights, which apparently the softies love. If you look at these mushrooms right here, these hairy mushrooms, I mean, they're just, I don't mind these guys. These guys can stay. I think they look cool. But there is not 1 square inch of this tank with the rock in it that is not just completely covered with coral. We got some more mushrooms down here on the bottom. Like, this tank is just so well established. It's so dialed in, and it's so really specific for softies and anemones. I just think you take a step back and it's a lot to kind of take in. But yeah, this tank is amazing. I wanted to share that with you.
All right, let me know what you guys think about both those aquariums. Do you think that it's time to trim that big tank and get rid of some of those corals? Maybe make room for some other ones? And by the way, that Seahorse tank is gonna get an upgrade relatively soon. So looking forward to that. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.